going on, everybody? Joe Day back with 8 questions. We've got Chuck on the line.
Hey, everybody, what do you say? What do you know? We're here with Joe Day and the other guy answering some questions, too.
Wait, you brought some... Yeah, he looks familiar. I want to go with Ned. Ned?
Close, Fred. Actually.
Fred. Ted? Ted.
Yeah, I think we're getting close, guys. There's an ED in there for sure. That's what my doctor says anyway.
That did sound great. I love it. I love it already. We're already off the rails. I love it. No, I'm kidding, of course. We're joined here with slick hands, backdoor, whatnot, mid-90s. Mid-90s Ed, we've got.
From backyard now to backdoor. I don't know what line we're crossing here.
I heard the mid-90s were crazy for you, Ed, so I just assumed. I don't know.
That's what they say, yeah. You had to be there.
We should put one of those little...
Unfortunately, I was.
Or fortunately, life experience is important, Chuck.
And I don't know who pooped in whose bed, but I mean, yeah, it's already off the rails. You're gonna have to skip ahead 8 minutes to get to the questions, and I love it.
I just got one question, Joe. Why are you bringing up old stuff?
We're a retro channel, Ed. We're a retro channel, so we bring up the 90s quite a bit here.
I mean, I don't really mind reliving it. It's Chuck's bed, right? Like,
No, and that was exactly what he said to me, because I was laughing at it, like, you pooped the bed, and I'm laughing at him, and he just looks at me deadpans and says, "Ha, it's your bed, maternal fornicator."
That's a solid point. Yeah, as you can tell, we're already off the rails from the guys with Silver Sports. Free entertainment, free fun. Thank you, Ed's Credit Card, the real champion of that channel. Ed's Credit Card killing it every single week. I can't imagine what your points are like. Your points have to be crazy for those credit card rewards.
And I use that as an important part to keep the channel going, right? Those points.
Smart.
Siphon it back in every couple of months. It pays for a box, right? Like, yeah.
I can't even imagine. You did one of these, and we'll get to the 8 questions. I'm sorry, everyone who tuned in just for the break, so to speak, but we'll get to them here shortly. I do have to say, you've done a video in the past where you broke down your financial implications to this channel. I'd love to see one of those again. I don't know if your heart and soul can deal with that, but I'm requesting as a loyal viewer, I'd love to see the breakdown sometime again if you have time.
So, and I did it right around tax season, because that's when I'm adding everything up, right? So I might do it. It's just like, man, I don't know if people want to really see that kind of level of pain, right? Like,
I mean, if you're a glutton for it, I guess. I will
say this: we started this channel in 2020, July. I think I spent $60K that first 6 months. I have spent over $100K on boxes every year since 2021. Just for the channel, and you've seen it all on the channel.
Yeah,
there's something like, I don't know, 500 videos up on our channel or something crazy, right?
You're up to almost 30. Is it 30,000 subscribers?
20. We're inch by inch, baby.
Inch by inch. You're getting there. And then you got Chuck's cheap ass rips here. It's doing the hobby the smart way. No offense, Ed.
Yeah. No, it's no offense taken. That you're 100% correct.
Oh, man. Well, guys, we should get into it because we're going to get comments below that people just came here for the 8 questions, obviously, and I don't want to have to deal with that crap.
Yeah, right.
So for those of you who are just tuning in, and come on, what are you doing? Subscribe. Come on, it's fun. Yeah. Join us here. For those of you down below, hit the button. For those of you just joining us, 8 questions. What we did, me, Mike, and EP, we went up to the Mike's Retro Trading Cards lab and concocted 8 questions that really just bore into the heart and soul of hobbyist collectors and YouTube sensations like Chuck. And I guess Ed. So we really get to know them just a little bit better. And I got to be honest, guys. It's like, you can't say you have a favorite child. I think this is going to be my favorite 8 questions. Don't tell Chris Sewell. Don't tell the Sports Card Dad. Don't tell any of those guys. I think this might be my favorite one. So let's get into the first question. Are you guys ready to answer 8 questions?
I don't know. Expectations are a little high now. You put some pressure on me there with this might be your favorite.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we could end it right now, and it'd probably be top 3. So, I mean, we don't even need to get to the questions.
I mean, the pickle's here.
The pickles. Chad Weiland is here, so that's great to see.
Creeping me out.
He's eyeballing you, Joe.
It follows you. It's like the Mona Lisa, man. It's just you can't get away from it. At least it doesn't have one eye. Anyway,
we can fix that. That's a good idea.
That's one of my fantasy football team names. I will leave that one alone. All right, let's get into it. We've wasted enough time. All right, 8 questions, 16 answers, a first for us as well. And this is probably going to be a long video. Watch at 1.5 speed. All right, what is the first card you guys remember collecting? We'll go with Chuck first. There it is. Chuck first.
Kind of growing up, I was a baseball guy. You know, I watched football, but my household was a baseball household. So it was definitely baseball cards. And I want to say it was like 80. I really remember diving into it in 86 and going to the Jewel to get a cello pack and hoping there was the black with the red Cubs on the top.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the step back, I think 85 is when I really remember thinking, hey, this is kind of cool. And it was I just, again, just like I do now with the Bears, I did with Cubs cards. So I remember I know I had an 85 Keith Moreland, which I thought was cool because it was like his back and him kind of looking over his shoulder, and it had the rainbow Moreland, over the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Thad Bosley, I think was it
Is that like a Moses Moreno's? What we're talking about here,
right? But again, I think it was like 85 Topps Cubs cards is kind of what I really first remember, and then 86, I was going to the store to get cards, a
little bit cheaper back then, I would say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Speaking of spending a lot of money on cards, Ed, what is the first card you remember collecting?
Well, there's a little interesting story here, right? So I didn't start collecting football cards until 2019 due to Chuck, 100%. So in the 90s, when everybody else was collecting football cards and the this junk wax era was flying and everybody was collecting those, I was buying junk comics.
Oh, okay.
I've got a whole box of them underneath here that I picked up from my dad's house a couple years ago that they're all worth nothing. But it was kind of cool to thumb through it and realize I didn't know how to store them. They're all bent up. I screwed it all up, right? But I used to go to the comic shop every week and pick up a new one, and it was all exciting, right? So it wasn't football. I've always been a football fan, always been a Bears fan since 1985. But the first card I remember, now I didn't collect it, so there's really 2 different things here, but I think this bears mentioning. The first card I remember was me and Chuck bought some retail boxes from somewhere. He came out here. We used to play Madden, and I used to buy those packs of cards on Madden.
Yeah.
And he's like, why are you spending money on that crap? Buy real cards. He came out here. We went to Target. We had the whole family and all that stuff. We bought some retail boxes. I forget what it was. Rookies and Stars or something might have been what it was. We pulled a 1-of-1. What's the quarterback's name? What's the quarterback's name? He was a Charger.
Phillip Rivers.
Easton Stick. I pulled. So we were splitting packs, right? He opens one, I open one. This is mine. This is his. We're battling, right? We didn't even know what we were doing. This was well before the channel, right? I pull a 1-of-1 Easton Stick. Chuck says, I got all these good guys. I'm like, Easton Stick? But I didn't even know what a 1-of-1 was. I didn't know. Had no idea what it meant. Chuck's like, I don't have any 1-of-1s. I'll trade you all of my cards for that. I'm like, oh, really? All of them? This one? All right, Chuck. So he's been getting me. This is not new, except I'm a little hipper now, right?
I mean, a little bit. I cannot believe that. I mean, first off, does he have it? Does he still have the Easton Stick?
The nice thing about it is he still got it, right? So
yeah, that is. I mean, he could have sold that for dollars for sure.
Dollars, yeah, right.
dollars upon dollars, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It better be in a one-touch, Chuck. I'll be very upset if this is not either PSA graded or in a one-touch.
First of all, Ed's just telling lies again. While there was quite the handful of
mind you, Easton Stick was in the running to be the starting quarterback at the time. I'm pretty sure this was pre Justin Herbert.
Keep running
Easton
your mouth.
Stick and
keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth because it wasn't Easton Stick. I did trade you for some other for an Easton Stick patch auto card. The one of one that I completely took advantage of.
So you got me again.
Was Adam Thielen.
Oh, there you go. See, in the 100 one, even better.
Wow.
Was Adam Thielen.
So it was Chronicles. There we go. It's all coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's not. It's just like great Groundhog Day, right?
What I'm hearing is he got you hooked. Like he is the drug dealer on the street corner
100%.
who gave you the first one for free, and now
100%.
you've been.
Why are
paying
you doing
for
that
it.
other stuff? Come over here and do what I like.
Oh
That's
man,
exactly how it went down.
I'm starting to leave Chuck's army just a little bit after that response. I'm just gonna say. I mean, that one kind of hurts, Chuck.
But really, so let me answer the question now. I think the first card I bought was a Walter Payton Downtown. So in our very first video that we decided to do, which there's a long story too, if you guys want to get into that at some point, we will. But we've told it before. But our very first video that we recorded, I pulled a Downtown card, and I was like, "This is the coolest looking thing ever," and I was hooked from then on. Right, that was a 2019 box of optics. So, so the first card I remember, which I guess it was 2020 or 2019, late 2019. I don't remember, but I bought it was probably 2020. I bought the Walter Payton Downtown out of the next year's optic set.
No, I mean, again, I just because he used to sucker me into buying packs on Madden too, because we would play,
and you'd have to keep up.
Exactly. So then I'm like, why are you spending all this real money on fake football cards? Go buy real football cards.
Yeah. And now you can buy fake football cards that pretend to be real football cards. I think they call them NFTs. So
I've got some of those too.
All right, I'm back in Chuck's army. I'm back after that. We got to move on. We got to move. This video might take 2 hours, and I've got football.
I tried to warn you.
I know. I love. By the way, I love every second of it. All right, this one I'm really curious your answer, Ed, because I know Chuck is a cheap ass. What is the most valuable card you've ever personally owned?
So
I have an idea in my head of what it might be, but
so it's also one of my most tragic stories.
No. I know this one. I know it. Okay. 2020
Prism, first off the line. I pulled a gold Tom Brady. As this, I told it on my channel way back then, but a lot of people probably haven't seen those videos because they're so old. They have like 400 views, right? Like, I pulled a gold Tom Brady. I did not. Again, this was when we were still new. This was our first year. We were probably 6 months into the channel by then. I didn't know everything I know now. True gold Tom Brady out of Prism in his height of hype, right?
Mm-hmm.
I looked online. And I saw other cards out of 10 of Tom Brady selling for like $1,200, $1,400, $900, $1,000. I'm like, holy cow, I hit the jackpot, right? I didn't even know it in the video. It was after the fact.
Yeah.
I posted up on eBay for something insane, like $200 or $300 more than that one, right? I'm like, let's throw it up there for $1,200 and go fishing. I turned around, I hit the button to post it, and I literally turned around and was sorting cards, and I heard cha-ching. And I was like, what was that? I turn around, I go, Tom Brady. So I called Chuck. I said, Chuck, you won't believe this. I just put this up, and I turned around, and cha-ching. So 5 minutes later, like not even 5 minutes later, 2 minutes later, I get in there, and I'm like, oh, it just went cha-ching. I'm like, oh, this guy's already paid. Like not only did it check out, this dude's paid $1,200. I'm thinking, I paid for my whole box of Prism. I'm feeling good, right? Another guy messages me, says, hey, I will give you $2,000 for that card. I see it just sold. If you cancel it and sell it to me. said, man, I can't do that, right? Like, I put it up there. It is what it is. But now you're making me wonder, right? But
right.
And then he went back and forth. He's like, I'll give you $2,500 for it if you like astronomical offers. I could have made an extra $1,000 to cancel on the first person that bought it.
I mean, I was on the phone for the first part of this too. That's how fast it was happening. I mean,
wow.
Seconds. People had it in their search, and as soon as it popped, they got notified and they went and bang bang. So fast forward, right? So I did it. I'm like, whatever. I sold it to the first person who bought it. I told the second guy, I said, look, man, it is what it is. I put it up there. The guy paid.
An honorable man at here.
Right,
honorable man.
Right. And so anyway, sold that. Fast forward a couple weeks, it comes out on the channel of like, I don't know, maybe a month, 2 months later, somebody messages me on like Instagram or something with a picture of the PSA 9 of a gold Tom Brady selling for $40,000 out of the same set.
Oh God.
$40K. So, and to this day, I haven't pulled another card near that.
Was it your Brady that got the 9, or was it just?
I don't remember. I don't know if it was the same number, and I didn't go back and look, like, because I didn't care at that point, right?
Yeah,
it was
you don't want to know.
PSA 9 , so it wasn't even perfect, and it was still $40K. Now, I think there was some other sales for 30, and it might even got down to 20. After the hype started to die down,
right.
But $40K. And to this day. Almost $500,000 in wax on this channel. I have never pulled anything even remotely close to that. That was like a lightning strike once in a lifetime, and I didn't even know I got struck.
Yeah. Oh man, that's follow that one, Chuck. What's the most valuable card you've ever personally owned?
Well, I again, thanks to Ed's credit card. Thanks to our sponsor. I never held it in my hands. The sale was brokered by whatnot over there, but I'd have to say the Sauce Gardner, the 101
from your friends up north
again, out of Prism.
Yeah.
That was a sharp card too. Did it have a little piece of the laundry tag?
It was a laundry tag, autograph. Yep. Black 101. I just and you know me, I want to keep stuff like that. But again, it's Sauce Gardner, it's a DB. Like Ed said, we looked at like the other kind of 101s of his going, $1,000, $1,200, $1,800. It's like I can't say no to that. But so Ed, you sold it at the National, I think, for me. I think we saw it. I think we saw it end up in somebody's chase card mystery packs they were selling online or something like that. Yeah, that was their chase card. But I cashed that out and I turned that into what did I turn that into?
Some Hall of Famers, I know. I think you got some autos too. Maybe
I think my Ditka autograph and my Ditka rookie and my Gale Sayers rookie.
That's the way to do
turn
it.
that into.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Those Canadians. Was that the one where you originally got the Jets and then you passed on them, Ed, or something like? There was another one where Chuck had like he keeps shaking his head because he knows poor. All right, I'm not going to bring up any more sad stories, but
it was just a couple months ago. He pulled a 101 Adrian Peterson out of the same box,
out of the hit box.
Landed on the Vikings and pulled a 101 Adrian Peterson in hitbox. Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
his luck, astronomical. I need another gold Tom Brady. We'll call it even.
Yeah. All right. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Or Joe Mixon has a good game this week in fantasy for you. I'm fingers crossed for that too, buddy. All right. Question number 3. What is your drink of choice? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic? What are you drinking?
Who's this for? Me?
Yeah, let's go with you, sir.
This will be a short question.
Yeah, you guys
I should get a sponsor.
So much. You should. I'm like kind of serious. I see you guys drinking Monster on the channel all the time. We want a beer sponsor here at Mike's Retro Trading Cards. We've been trying for a couple of years now, but yeah, I see you guys drinking quite a bit of Monster that your heart's going to explode at some point. But all right, quick one. So we'll go to question number.
But here's the thing with the Monster, because I
nothing's quick around here.
I get that too.
said mid-90s and never.
Oh my God. I should have got a beer. I don't know what is happening right now.
Yes, we do drink a lot of Monster, but the thing is, though, again, management over here at Silver Sport, they dictate these hours. Yeah, we sit down on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and we just record till noon.
Yeah.
So, and then those are the videos for the week. So while it looks like we're drinking 2 Monsters a day for every week, it might have been 2 Monsters in that 4-hour period. And then that's it.
That's a really good point. That makes me want to tell our story quick. We do the same thing you guys do on Sundays. I'm pulling back the curtain. We record all of our content for the week on Sundays. And again, we start at like 10 and we end at like 2 o'clock. So we're going the whole day. So it looks like I'm a raging alcoholic when in fact I'm only slightly an alcoholic. So, a couple of drinks versus, every Monday morning at 7 a.m. I'm waking up and cracking open a beer. So that'd be bad. All right. Number 4, if you could rip any box of cards, what would it be? We'll go with Chuck. He's looking off to the sky here.
Yeah. Because again, I would love to I always wanted to open one of those briefcases. You know what I mean? The flawless. The whole idea of it appeals to me. And with your little gem certificate in there. But that's throwing away. That's just you're throwing away money. You buy something like that, and I know Ed's been kind of trending towards that because I know he wants to open something big like that too. At least once on the channel. But I think like if I could from any time period and in any way, I really like 62 Topps football. I love the look of it.
Who's the Bears rookie in that one?
I got Ditka's the rookie in that one.
Hail to Pitt.
So there you go. That's right. Aliquippa boy over there. Yeah.
Yep.
Ditka. But I love the look of it. I mean, I know cards they always gear to kind of, at least they used to, kind of capture the era or the moment. I mean, you look at cards from the the 80s, the 70s, the look, the design, whatever. And I just think that 62. I mean, I'm not a big 60s guy, but I think with a little black and white, like captured frame of a it's like a black and white TV snapshot of a play, and then the portrait picture of the guy. I'm like, yeah, that's what 1962 looked like in my head. I just think it's a cool looking card.
And that sounds more like it's going to be something shimmy shiny with Ed. I know it is, but so it's nice to hear that you're going to open up some cool stuff just to imagine pulling a Ditka rookie out of a pack. I mean, right there. That
right.
Awesome. All right. What's shimmy shiny thing are you ripping open, Ed?
I don't know, man. The problem is I've opened a lot of what I would like to open. Right. And then it's a lot of disappointment involved in that. Right. Like, so
this is like a therapy session I didn't know we were going to get into right now.
Don't do it, man. Buy singles, right? Buy singles. Don't do what I do.
Wait for question 8, because question 8, that might be a good answer for question 8. But
so I don't know. I flawless would probably be something I would like to get to. I think it would just be great for the channel too, right? Like, again, the problem is those intense moments. They suck for me. I enjoy the $300 box of Phoenix much more than I do a $2,000 box of National Treasures, because I don't feel the pressure of having to hope to get something back in order to buy more boxes to keep the channel running. Right. Like, so,
that's really. I mean, I bust his balls all the time. He it piles on me for being cheap and everything else too. But that's really. I mean, Ed. Yes, he got into collecting and football cards from this, but he's the kind of guy that he's going to do something. I mean, 30 years in the military, he's going to see it out till the end. And that's what he does with Silver Sport, a
little bit obsessive.
Yeah. So it's like everything just gets churned back into the channel. And you know what I mean? It's not like he's, doing sales at shows or whatever. He's just, he's trying to do the quick turn, and that's why he just puts it up at 99-cent auctions. I mean, a lot of the time, who does that with some of the stuff that he pulls? But he just does it because it's a 7-day turnaround, and then that money goes right back to the sponsor.
Plus some, yeah.
plus interest. You know,
it's not for the faint of heart. I'll tell you that. There are certain. I think it was maybe your last box of Prism. There was a point where I was like, "Oh man, what are you?" It's like you're at a party with a friend, and they order another drink, and you're like, "Oh, I don't know, buddy. I don't know if you really need that drink." And like, you want to hang out with your friend and party with your friend, but you're like, "Oh, I don't know. That might not be the best bet." Yeah, and I was starting to I'm like doing my dishes, watching you guys in the background. I'm like, "Oh, Ed, man, what are you doing here?" But all right, therapy session over.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I would like to rip, for example, I would like to rip a case of Prism like some of these guys do, right? Like just for kicks to see what you pull out of it, right? But the problem is like Prism, you're gonna get one box out of 12.
Right.
There's one box in every 12 that you feel good about. Right. Yeah. And you might get lucky in one other box and catch a card that's gonna pay for half the box or something, right? But by and large, unless you get the perfect players in the perfect case, you're getting whacked.
I was watching someone pull a 1-1 Black Finite, and they were all excited. It was a breaker, so they were breaking for their channel. And Dane from Dynasty Breaks, who actually did 8 questions with us before, a great guy. And it was a Keith Byers 101. And it's like, you pulled a 101, but it was 40 Byers because
$47.50 on eBay.
Cards. Yeah. It's a 400 card base set. So what are you doing? So
yeah.
All right. Question number 5. Tell us something about yourself that most people may not know. And we are not a family channel, so
not a kid show.
Yeah, this is not a kid show here at Mike's Retro Trading Cards.
There's not much about me that people don't know because Chuck puts my shit out on the street every video, right? Like
yeah, this guy shit in my bed one time. Yeah. I mean, that was the point of no return.
That would have been a good one if it had been the first time we told that story. Chuck puts that shit out on the street all the time.
Oh, that's true. All right, you follow that up, Chuck.
It's funny. Because I was kind of thinking about this. We're like Ed said. I mean, yeah, he said I put his shit out on the street all the time. I kind of do, but we're both fairly transparent on the channel all the time. I mean, I give all right. Okay. I give mid-90s Ed a lot of static, right? Mid-90s Ed this, mid-90s
people know that, Chuck. This is not something new.
But maybe what all the folks don't know is that mid-90s Chuck is the one who had his nipples pierced and his back. So
yes, you got one. Yes. Woo! Mid-90s Chuck is definitely going to start trending now.
I will tell you, we make a lot of fun of mid-90s Ed, but mid-90s Chuck was way worse. We just roll with that. Right? Yeah. Chuck was off the reservation for quite a few years, right?
I was, yeah. I know that's you want to get into a therapy session, Joe? You have to start charging us by the hour. But yeah, no, I had my nipples pierced, and I didn't take them out until my first son was born. He'll be 21 next month. That's when I took my nipple rings out because when I was holding him with those shirts, he would be pulling on them.
That is a visual. I did not see that. 12:44 my time on a Saturday. And your oldest son, as I refer to him, your non-Carnegie Mellon son.
Yes.
Go Tartan, my grad school.
That's right. That's awesome, man.
So you win. But I'm upset with myself that when one of you said, I think Chuck, you said I give Ed a lot of shit. Why I didn't jump in and said, and then he gave you his shit. I don't know why I didn't come in.
That would have been a good.
So that's on me. I'm losing my here. I need another cup of coffee. All right. Question number 6, and yes, only question number 6. What was your first car? We'll start with you, Ed.
Mine's better.
There's a story attached to Chuck. My first car was an '83 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme Brougham edition. rode like you were on a cloud in velvet seats.
Velvet seats. Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Floated
definitely
down the road.
that's yeah. Picking up the chicks in that, I bet.
I was just happy it got me from point A to point B.
Charles?
I'm considerably younger than Ed.
Yeah.
Considerably younger. Oh my goodness. We laid that one on. We tried to paint that picture with a broad brush, right?
Consider the word considerably, doing a lot of work in that statement.
Like 3 days.
My first vehicle was a 94 Chevy Lumina.
Okay.
It was a 94 Chevy Lumina. I got it cheap because my stepdad was a truck driver, and it was a car that they drove between Chicago and Florida like weekly. So it had like 120,000 miles on it. It was like a year old. Fresh out of boot camp in the Navy now, 30 years ago. Fresh out of boot camp, heading back up to base after, because again, I'm from right outside of Chicago, and we were up at Great Lakes going to school. Wrecked it. Wrecked it, and you know who was in the car with me? Give you one guess. Wrecked it on the freeway.
What was mid-90s Ed up to in your car is what
I was asleep in the back seat.
I'll wake
you up. It had been a long
up.
weekend. We were going back to work, right?
Heading up the freeway, whatever freeway the hell it was back then, I don't remember. The official story, I saw something in the road and overcompensated. Anyways, so
the official story, we'll just let that one hang out
up against the barricade, sparks flying, come to a stop, facing the wrong way on the freeway. The car won't start again. Ed wakes up in the backseat. What the fuck? You know,
I was dozing off in the back seat. This thing happens in an instant, and I got sparks flying right by my face from the median in the middle of the highway. What's the highway, Chuck, that goes from Great Lakes to Chicago? The big one.
I don't remember.
I forget what the highway number is. 279. I think it's like 279 or something. Toll road, right? Like 7-8 lanes wide, right? Like,
do you guys remember the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Yes,
where they
it was like that.
Two tractor trailers. That's kind of what I'm thinking of now.
So there was a third party in the vehicle with us. Car comes to a stop. I'm,
white knuckling.
Yeah. Few minutes later, I mean, not even a few minutes. It wasn't long at all. Car pulls up behind us. Right? Like, oh, well, there's some help here. Ed, do you want to finish this part of the
No, go ahead. I'm just remembering.
So there's three of us. I'm the driver. There's somebody in the passenger seat, Ed in the back. Car pulls up. Hey, everybody all right? Yeah, we're fine. Ed's like, look, man, you fucked this up. I'm not going to be late getting back to base, whatever, I'm, she's like, it was a female, and she says, all right, well, if you're all okay, you think you give us a ride, up the road, something, the Great Lakes, this, that, and the other thing. No, she offered. She offered.
100%.
Because Ed was like, oh, I appreciate it, but thanks. She motions to a police officer's uniform, like hanging on the dry cleaner rack in her back seat. So Ed says, well, okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. It got a cop's uniform hanging in the back street. Ed, the punchline?
It wasn't a real cop's uniform.
Stripper.
Yes. Wait. Would I think you would have hopped in the car quicker if you knew that ahead of time, right?
100%.
Yeah. So you were winning either way.
Shit like that has been happening to us for 30 plus years.
Fantastic.
The mid-90s.
Mid-90s.
I don't even know what freaking question that. Oh, your first car. Okay.
95 Chevy Lumina.
It's just what a simple question turns into around here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I love it. All right. This one's a complicated question. And I sent Chuck, this is kind of our FMK. You guys are adults. You know what that means, right? Ed, you know what that means?
Okay. Yep.
Okay. So this is our version of that. It's buy, sell, burn. And the three things are slabs, top loaders, binder pages. So if you're buying them, you love them forever. You're never getting rid of them. You're marrying them. You're married to binder pages or whatever. If you sell them, that means you're going to have fun with them, but you're going to get rid of them. Okay. Burn them. You're done with them. You never want to see them again. You hate them. You don't want them in your collection, in your hobby, whatever. So buy, sell, burn, slabs, top loaders, binder pages. Chuck, what are you buy, selling, and burning?
That's a tough one. I mean,
why would you burn anything?
It's not like there's video of
I don't understand.
Flipping. What was it? Was it Don? No, it wasn't Don Russ. It was draft picks or something. We were trying to get him into
the fireplace.
You know?
There is. I think I've seen that video.
I'm a binder guy. I do like binders, so I'm buying binder pages. It has to be. But when it comes to slabs or top loaders, I mean, I got a ton of stuff in top loaders. Use them every day. I don't want to burn them. Slabs. Okay. All right. So I would sell top loaders. I would burn slabs. I thought that's the problem I have with slabs is just everybody like you were saying, everyone's slabbing Josh Dobbs. You know what I mean? And they're trying to jump on that. Plus the price these people are paying just to get them slabbed. I like the general idea. I have a few slab things, especially authenticated in-person autographs. Things of that, especially for for the older vintage guys. I'd prefer a slabbed one of that, knowing that somebody with a trained eye took a look at it. But I guess
But
if I had to,
we talk about this on the channel all the time. How trained is that eye really? It's just one guy's opinion, one gal's opinion. Sometimes our opinions are better. In my opinion, our opinions are better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I'm the first one, especially when you started this Hall of Fame autograph collection. I mean, I would sit there, Ed'll tell you too. I would stare and compare 5 or 6 different autographs of the guy. Even the ones that were slabbed, like you said, somebody's trained eye. Yeah. But I would sit there and stare at it, and hey, does this look like this? And I'd send them 2 pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm the exact same way, man. I totally get it. How about
you start getting it yourself?
Yeah.
So I thought Chuck was going to say that, so I thought I'd just break this out, right? Like,
pretty nice one to break out. What is that? A PSA? Is that a 7?
Yeah.
7.
So, and it's one of my most prized cards, mostly because it was a trip to the National. It's attached to a lot of memories, and I went hunting for this card for the whole National until I found the one I could afford and make a deal on. And it's protected forever. Yeah. So regardless of what everyone thinks about it, I've got a box of comics over here that's all bent up, right? Like, and it's been exposed to whatever. This won't ever be, right? So it just depends, right? Like, so I guess I see a lot of points of view. I have binders with nothing in them because I don't have the patience like Chuck to sit there and sift through. I've got boxes full of cards. Now, at some point I will, but right now life is crazy, right?
You're retiring soon. You're retiring, so you can get to it, right?
But even then, I'll just find something else to jump into, right? That's just how I'm built, right? Like, so anyway, I don't know that I want to burn anything, but I don't use binders.
Yeah.
As much.
And you use a ton of top loaders. We see it on the channel.
And I definitely prefer the top loaders over them because, again, my experience as a kid collecting comics, I didn't have them in top loaders. So I had them in sleeves and stacked in a box. Yeah. And then 30 years later, they're trash.
30 years later, you're picking them up and they're worth $1, right?
But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're memories. It's cool to go back. But I thought I had money in there. I was like, I got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. I got all this, right? Like,
well, you may have money. Text, email me or whatever. Like, I follow some comic book folks, so there might be some stuff there. Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ain't nothing. So
I looked them all up when I brought them back. I didn't have any of the right prints or any of the stuff to be of anything over $20, $30. Nothing. I'll keep it, right? Like,
look at him. He's just throwing $30 bills out the window.
Yeah.
At the Silver Sports Mansion.
That's right.
So let me see that Walter Payton again. To me, that looks like an Ed SA10. I don't know. PSA 7 at SA 10. I mean,
well, I use a different color because PSA will sue me.
Oh
if
yeah,
I
yeah,
use
yeah.
the red
For sure,
border.
for sure. Yeah, pick something else out. All right, I can't believe we finally did it. We got to the last question. It's funny when we were talking about doing this ahead of time. Mike and I were texting beforehand, and he said, "Oh, I think we should have both of them on together." I said, "Oh yeah, that was the plan because." You can't break up the crew from Silver Sports. And as we're going through this, I'm like, boy, maybe splitting them up might have been a good idea. This would have been like 2-minute video.
No.
2-minute video.
No. About to tell the same stories. You just wouldn't have Ed's reaction. You wouldn't have my reaction.
That's true. All right.
Doesn't work the same on its own.
It doesn't work the same. That's why you got to renew his contract every year when it comes up.
Yeah.
So
you got July.
Uh-oh, 10's out.
I'm pretty sure there's videographic evidence that last year was a 2-year contract, so I'm good till 2026, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure you're fine. I think I remember that. I'm slightly on Ed's army now, a little bit.
But do those numbers really count? How many times you got a guy under contract for 3
No,
more
they do.
years?
There's evidence, Chuck.
He sits out OTAs. I'm just going to sit out OTAs.
Yeah, we like to call it the Kirk Cousins because he's not going to be on that team next year.
Yeah, they're going to cut him soon, I've heard.
Yeah, probably before March at least. But all right, we're way off track again. All right, question number 8.
This is why our videos to open 4 packs of cards are 38 minutes long.
Yeah. Serious question before you get to this 8th question. Okay. Did you really expect this to be like 20 minutes?
If this was only like, I would have been disappointed, and our viewers would have been disappointed. If this was just you guys.
I mean, our intros are longer than this, Joe. Like,
yeah. That's why I said skip ahead to the questions. We will have to put a little time things in there. But all right. Question number 8, which I'm sure will take another 15 minutes. So buckle up. Other than recommending buying any particular card, what is one piece of advice you would give to yourself when you first started collecting? I think I might know Ed's answer. I'm not 100% sure. We'll start with you, Chuck.
With me, all right. So don't say like, oh, go
buy 86 Gordon cards or something like that. Yeah.
Man, the obvious answer is just collect what you love. You know what I mean? Because I'm a huge proponent of that. Like. Don't get.
But you already had that advice. You got to give yourself some advice you didn't know at the time.
I love these busting your balls for a better answer.
I know, right?
He is the boss. I mean, his credit card does sponsor everything we're doing right now.
My son
He's on the picket line, folks.
I mean, again, maybe along the lines of like. Like with Ed, taking care of his comics, maybe just, whatever you get, take care of it. You know what I mean? I think that is a huge one. Like, a box of top loaders, 100 top loaders costs what, Ed? You're the money guy, $8
$10
or whatever,
or
$10. Yeah. Make that additional investment. Whether you think it's going to be worth a lot or you just love it, just protect whatever you get. As my father used to tell me, always wear your galoshes when you go out in the rain.
I don't think he was talking about me. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was not about the weather.
Really? Because to this day, I always got a pair of galoshes by the door.
And you also have children. So, I mean, obviously you did not take that advice for what it was worth.
Chuck is an idiot.
But yeah, I guess that's what I would say. I'd say take care, because
joking aside, that's a really, really great answer, because I'm a big proponent of that too. Too many people just take cards and just throw them into a box, and then all of a sudden 20 years later, Tom Brady was in those boxes, and you pull them out and they're not worth crap.
And that's where I found my box of Toms too. I got a box of Toms, and I mean, nothing huge. I think the best was by one
box of Toms. I think that's a movie I saw once. Anyway. All right, Ed, give us a piece of advice. Give yourself a piece of advice, and then give us a piece of advice.
So the thing that comes to mind is probably what everybody thinks I'm going to say, right? Don't start a YouTube channel. because that's what started this, right? Once I got zeroed in, and I'm like, Chuck was like, "This channel's never gonna work. We're just doing it for fun." I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna do it for fun, but I'm gonna make it work," right? And it was a wee thing, but again, like Chuck said, I was like, "No, I'm determined. If I'm gonna go after it, I'm gonna take a good, valid shot."
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money doing that, right? And then trying to get better at what we did, and I think we've gotten better, right? We're definitely more loose and stuff than we were in our early videos.
I'll watch some of your first videos, and it's like neither one of you are on camera. There's not as much like pizzazz. Chuck wasn't buying into teams. It's a whole different dynamic. I watched that rip of you pulling that Tom Brady, by the way.
Oh,
it's so hard to watch. But you've definitely gone well beyond just a couple of guys opening up a box of cards.
Yeah, but the whole reason we started recording them in the first place is because what you see now is what we really are. Yeah. When we were FaceTiming, and the family would be like, "Hey, you can't don't start recording with." It's just me and Chuck opening football cards. My wife don't want us to do football cards. Nobody does, right? Like in the house, but me. She's like, "You can't do that." Because she knew she'd watched us FaceTime before and calling each other idiots and like trying to trade cards and like, there was comedy in the opening of him and I FaceTiming each other during COVID or it was pre-COVID. That was pre-COVID, right? That was 2019.
2019, yeah.
Anyway, that's how the channel started. But I would say the reason I struggle with this is the easy answer to save myself a whole lot of money is don't start a YouTube channel. But I don't go that route because what we've created is something awesome, right? Like there are so many people in our community. It's really crazy. It's just really cool to be a part of, right? Like people send us stuff in the mail. Do you believe that? Yeah. Like whoever thought
some idiot went through all his Bears Commons, boxes of them, and
321 to be exact.
It's wild, and tons of people do it, right? And like, it just something I never expected. So the community is great. It's awesome to be a part of.
Well, to get serious for a second, the viewers, we appreciate it. We appreciate your banter. We appreciate the hits. Like sometimes like I said, I feel really bad for you, man. And sometimes when Chuck screws you, I love it. So I don't know. I'm kind of how I feel about it, but I'd be remiss to say our buddy Mike Jones. He's a friend of ours in real life. He loves your channel too. He turned me on to you guys. Say you should watch these guys. They're really fun. We'll text about some of the hits and Chuck screwing you over. Like we will actually text about stuff like that. So, I mean, the stuff you give to the community for free for the most part has been great, and it's one of my favorite channels to watch. So, I appreciate you guys coming on and doing this for us.
Appreciate that. But to answer the question, as I hold Chuck to the fire, I'll hold myself to it.
I was getting ready to say that was a beautiful job dancing there on that. And you never even answered it.
When I pulled that first downtown in my first box that we recorded out of Optic, it was a Phillip Rivers. And I put it up on eBay briefly. And then it's like one of them sold for $30. And I'm like, I'm not letting that cool ass card go for $30. I took it off eBay. And I put it in a hard case and I put it in my box. I should have bought every downtown in 2019. I could have got the whole set for like under $1,000, and I'd be I just love collecting them. I get it that everybody likes them and they're shiny, and some people don't understand liking them. But when you started collecting, when downtown was the thing, it's cool to me, right? Yeah. So, and it's a little bit rare. I hope it stays that way, but I don't know, right? Like
I would bust your
answer the question.
He didn't, and I'm not going to give him a third shot.
I did answer it. I said buy up every card you can in 2019.
Other than wait, hold on. Let me
turn around and sell them in 2020.
Let me reread the question here, Chuck and Ed. Other than recommending buying any particular card, what is one piece of advice you would give to yourself? But hey, I'm not going to hold your feet to the fire. I'm going to allow that
part. How could he? He's got selective hearing, Joe.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how you do it. I'm back in Chuck's army. I'm back in Chuck. He lost me.
Like my shirt.
Yeah.
I answered the question. I don't look. Multiple ways.
And I will tell you this: the downtown thing, you are 100% right, because I think they're god awful ugly. But if you start collecting, I call them like they'll be the PMGs in 20 years for people who got into collecting today or
Yeah,
2019 or whatever. So yes, while I agree with that, I'm not a huge fan, especially with Aaron Rodgers with the milkfish or whatever is going on with that. So, all right, where can the guys find you? Where can people watching here find you other than going to Silver Sport? Michael probably put a link to your channel. If you're somehow subscribed to us and not them, what are you doing with your life? Go subscribe to these guys. It's like watching our channel, but they open up Ultra Modern too, so it's a good time. But where else can folks find you?
We're on Twitter and Instagram as well. Mostly Twitter. Like we're on Instagram. We have more followers on Instagram, but we don't do much there. I don't know what it is about Twitter, right? I think so.
I know what it is about Twitter. I use the Twitter mainly. You use the Instagram, and he's lazy.
Who uses the Instagram? I don't use the Instagram at all. I don't even understand
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
I think he kind of just proved the point. Wait, and you're also, I believe, are you guys Silver Sport on OnlyFans as well?
No, I don't think so.
Not OnlyFans, but Feet Finder.
Feet Finder, okay. I knew it was one of those. I wasn't 100% sure. All right, this has been a lot of fun. We're probably like an hour video at this point, but it kind of checks out. Joe Mixon has probably already run for 3 touchdowns. Fingers crossed. Yeah. So anyway, thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate it, guys. And I think I froze. Did I freeze?
It looks like Chuck did.
Oh, Chuck froze.
He's got that Burger King internet.
That Burger King internet. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. And we're out.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.